Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bowhunt or Die. I'll tell you what, this particular episode is jam-packed with, we go from bear hunting to bow fishing to some serious food plot knowledge 101. You may even need to pull out Google during that segment. I think Justin heard a few words that he's never heard before during that segment. What's wrong?
Are you wearing BMW glasses? Is that what I see here?
Dude, I shot that BMW buck last year. I figured it was good luck. I went in, I saw these glasses. They're heavier duty, so yes. They are BMW glasses. No, I don't own a BMW, but I like them.
I thought you were staying with the contacts, man. You just couldn't pull it off?
Dude, they just bother my eyes, man.
Right, fair enough.
Plus, I started something, and people are. I actually got a
They'll
phone.
Never
I got a phone call after that episode from a good longtime friend who was like, "Hey, what happened with the goggles? You're gonna lose your mark." I started thinking about that. So anyhow.
Back we go. So guys, as Todd said, we've got a jam-packed episode this week. We're going to kick it off with a bear hunt, or I should say, I guess, two bear hunts with Paul Morrison and his now wife, DaLisa. Guys, we saw the Paul and DaLisa a couple weeks ago on a show go to a Reinhardt R100 shoot. They were shooting their bows, getting ready for this hunt. This was actually their honeymoon. They spent it up in Quebec, Canada. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into that hunt now.
5 days ago, our journey started. Me and DaLisa got married at my house. We had a beautiful reception. And then we started on our way onto our honeymoon, which is a bear hunt in Quebec, Canada. So on the way up, we stopped a couple different places. We stopped at Niagara Falls. We had a great time. We stopped at a castle out near Waterford, I believe it is. And had a great time there. And then we slowly made our way up towards Pierre Bonca, got into Canada. Of course, the language barrier changed, all the signs changed. We saw some really cool animals. We saw bear, we saw 2 moose, but we only got to film one of them. We've seen some just beautiful scenery and everything, and we're finally coming up to the lodge. Here in the next, I would say, about 10 miles, we should see the lodge sign, and then we'll get up there, get settled in, and we'll be hunting this afternoon. So I'm excited. This has been a long, dragged out, fun hunt, and I think DaLisa's ready to put an arrow through a big black bear. So hopefully it works out tonight. You never know. Maybe we could get it done on the first night, but hoping to see some really close encounters and some beautiful scenery and some awesome animals. So let's go, and we'll get settled in here in the next couple miles.
I think we're pretty much spot on. Ready to go. So we just got into the stand, and Bucky, the proprietor for the lodge, got everything set up for us. This is a pretty sweet setup we're in. And the bait barrel is just down here. We're waiting now to see if any bears come in. Very, very, very intense. He looks like he was a little bit young. He came in from over here on the left-hand side here and came into the barrel. He acted like he was a little skittish, but oh goodness, my heart is beating so a shooter, maybe not quite as young as him. So we'll see how it goes. So we got about 15 more minutes of good light. Overall, so far has been a very successful hunt. I mean, granted we don't have a bear on the ground, but I mean, just seeing the bear for the first time and having him come in that many times up close was really exciting. And then, we got to see the squirrels. They were quite entertaining as always. And then the snowshoe rabbits were pretty cool too. I had never seen those before in the wild, so that was exciting. And then, just overall being able to be out in the woods together and watch the wildlife come in such a beautiful forest it's amazing. So hopefully, something comes in here in the next 15 minutes. If not, we've still got a whole week ahead of us. So hopefully we'll get something before the end of the week's out. So this is day 2, and we're at a different set and a different stand today. We just got into the stand, and the bait is just down below us, and we're just waiting to see what comes in. So fingers crossed tonight we get a good shooter that comes into the bait.
shot our first bear ever. We have some really good footage, and we heard the death moan, so that was awesome. Anyway, my season just now started, so I grabbed the bow and got into the shooting position, and we're gonna try to double up tonight. We'll see what happens. I think me and DaLisa just tagged out here in Quebec, Canada. One black bears. We saw a black bear coming in, and we thought it was the little one that's been running around. But as soon as he got in, DaLisa said it was a lot bigger when it was coming in. I didn't get much footage of him coming in because I just thought it was that little one running around. But he came in and he just sprawled out at the bait. And my time behind the bow here in Canada lasted about an hour and a half, maybe. And I got to see 2 other bears. This definitely isn't the biggest giant in the woods, but to be on my honeymoon, bear hunting in Quebec, Canada, and killing 2 bears in the same night with my new wife, it couldn't be any better. We just heard our bear do the death moan. It was actually pretty loud. I'm not sure if the camera was able to hear it, but it's not too far away. I'd say maybe 100, 150 yards. We're gonna go get our guide, look at the arrow, follow the blood trail, and hopefully have 2 bears at the end of both blood trails. So let's go get our guide, and we'll see you behind a big bear after the...
We watched them go all the way to the end. Mine cut off here to the right.
Right
Yep,
there.
mine cut off to the right. Hers went straight.
There's a drop.
It's got blood on it. It's awesome. He's right here. I see him. He's right up through here.
Good job. Yeah, right behind the shoulder. Yeah, I'm sure the heart was definitely touched, I would think.
All right, so we found my bear. He went about 50 yards from where we shot him, so pretty excited about that. We didn't have to track too far. A lot of times it's harder with bear because they have the thicker hides, is what they're telling me, so it goes down deep in and you can't get the blood trail as easily. So pretty excited. We didn't have to go very far, and we had pretty good blood all the way up. So looks like I got a good shot right behind the shoulder, so I'm pretty pumped, totally excited. Now we get to go and track Paul, so bow hunt or die.
All set?
Yep.
All right.
We just got DaLisa's bear. They're headed to the truck with it, and I pulled my arrow right here and we're gonna jump on some blood. Looked like he kind of circled here, and then we heard him do the death moan about, I don't know, if I had to guess, it's about 50, 60 yards, but what do I know? It's my first bear, so let's go find him.
It's not bad, dude. Awesome.
about the same size.
Maybe they're brothers.
Yeah.
All right, guys, well, we got the bears drug out last night. As a matter of fact, Sam threw DaLisa's bear on his shoulders and hauled it out, and it turns out her bear weighed 190 pounds. So Sam's definitely a stud. But anyway, man, you couldn't have a hunt work out better. And we brought these bears out this morning to give you a better look at them. Last night it was dark, and we were trying to get out of there with the bugs and everything. But we had a great hunt. We saw bears every set. They really got a lot of bears up here. I think everybody in camp has tagged out except for one person, and this is the third day. So between sitting having one set, my hunt starting, well, DaLisa shooting hers, and then we heard the death moan on hers, went about 45 yards, 30 yards.
25 yards.
25 yards. It didn't go very far, just out of sight, and then expired. And then so I took over, and my hunt started and ended within about 45 minutes. So it was. And my bear actually weighed 220 pounds. So DaLisa's a little bit mad about that, but she'll get over that. But for a honeymoon hunt, definitely one of the coolest hunts I've been a part of. I've never been bear hunting before, so this was my first bear. This is DaLisa's first bear, and hope you guys enjoyed the footage. We tried to have some different cool camera angles and stuff, and got some good bear and some good squirrels and stuff. The bear was swatting the squirrels and everything. So hope you guys enjoyed. Next thing you know, we'll be in the whitetail woods, and we'll be trying to shoot those big whitetails that you guys like to watch hit the ground. So you guys stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed Bowhunt or Die.
Justin, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd be able to get Sonia to go to a bear hunt for a honeymoon. I don't know about you in your situation with Amy,
No,
but that's
I'm
not
pretty sure
happening
my
for
wife
me.
would not have enjoyed a bear hunt as much as the week we spent in Cabo on our honeymoon. But you know what? Good for
I
Paul and
loved it.
DaLisa. Man, that was awesome.
It was a great hunt, great story. I mean, from beginning to end, I enjoyed the whole hunt. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I mean, what an unbelievable story to be able to go out and shoot 2 bears on the same day on your honeymoon. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, no,
awesome.
that was a great hunt. They did a wonderful job. Camera work was good. The shots, as you guys saw, were great. Neither one of those bears went very far at all. So, congrats again to Paul and DaLisa. It was a pretty awesome hunt. Way to get the season started. Hopefully they can, continue that momentum as we approach into fall deer
and when
season.
you say continue that momentum, I mean, Justin, Paul has always had that momentum. That's just my opinion.
Well,
I mean, Paul is a machine. Now he's got his wife backing him up.
Now
and
you're
he
just
let his
putting
wife go first,
Now
too.
you're just putting the pressure on him. Now he's going to have
He
to
needs some
deliver something
pressure.
for
He's
us.
always done such a fantastic job. But I did notice after they got married, there was a little bit of argument going on there about the distance of how far her...
And whose bear was bigger. And
That's
Paul's
right.
was bigger. So maybe DaLisa's going to
Hopefully.
shoot the bigger buck this fall.
I'm
I
putting
guess
my
we'll
money
just
on
have to
her.
stay tuned and find out. So, guys, the next segment we've got for you is Dan Richardson. For those of you who are on our forum, you may know Dan. He's one of our administrators. His screen name is Blood Crick. You can follow along with him. He's been doing a really cool bow fishing boat build post in the Bowfishing forum. But something else we wanted to mention, he documented the full setup of his bow. He's shooting a fin finder Poseidon bow with all the fin finder bow fishing accessories on it. He documented the whole thing on video. We're going to have that up on the website very shortly. So if you guys are interested in getting into bow fishing and wanting to learn what gear to use or how to set it up, make sure you check that out. There's a ton of great information there. But Todd, this is a pretty cool segment.
This is, I tell you what, if this segment does not want you to go get a bow fishing bow, I don't know what will. Because, I mean, watching them miss that one and they're all taking turns, I mean,
it's
you
pretty
can't do
cool.
that deer hunting, that's for sure.
So we're going to rewind the clock a little bit to February when they start the build on this bow fishing boat. We're going to end it with some time on the water, so let's check it out.
All right, February 7th. I know it's not quite bow fishing season yet, but old Dan, just thinking about it a lot. Behind me, I've got my son's boat. Here this past, towards the end of summer, I made a new deck for it. It had a steel deck on it. I took that off, fabricated one out of aluminum. If you follow on our forums in the bow fishing section, I've got a lot of pictures on that build right there. But today what we're gonna do I've got a buddy on the way over. He's just got just bought a 2072 off another buddy of mine. It's already set up for bow fishing and it's nice, but we're gonna make it a lot nicer. We're gonna completely rebuild the deck, different lighting system. We're gonna put a kicker motor on the back, and I'm gonna kind of show you a little bit here and there as we go on that, and then we'll roll into bow fishing season. And another buddy, he just bought an airboat, so hopefully we'll get some fishing time on that this summer. Get you some good clips of that. But anyway, he's gonna be over here in a minute. We're here in my garage. He's gonna back this boat in here and we're gonna tear into it. All right, we're finally getting to test this boat out. We've actually had it out before, but not in the daytime, so this is going to be a little bit different for us. We're in an undisclosed location somewhere in Kentucky. We're not going to tell you where. Me and the boys are going to go out and have some fun and hopefully get some fish in the daytime here, so stay tuned and see what happens. Yeah. Alright.
Good shot there, Dale.
We just got here, seen probably 3 of them on the bank. Finally got a shot at one, so I'm guessing we got grassies on the bank. Over him.
Good shot.
Oh, I thought I had him.
Good job. He's done.
Small silver. Straight on shot. Not an easy shot. Get him, Carl. Get him. Oh. There he is. There he is. He's still in the back. Yeah, on it. Oh my God. How many times did I miss that fish? Alright. Not real big, but I'll take it. Oh! You believe that? Talk about stressed out. That was a giant grassy. He about pulled me off the boat the first time I didn't have my drag set right. And then I got him up close and he ran. He was peeling drag. Just about had him up again. Kyle was going to put a second shot, double tap him, and he pulled out. Grassies are so soft, and I may have just pierced him a little bit. But man, what a heartbreaker.
Dan, looks like you was right. I had to shoot the first gar of the day.
You always shoot the first gar.
I try my best.
It's tradition. This is the last hurrah, one last trip down, and might shoot some fish, might not. We had fun doing it, and the boat's working excellent. Had fun building it, didn't we?
Absolutely.
I mean, it is a very nice boat. So anyway, I hope you enjoy what we've been doing. So we'll see you later. Bow hunt or die.
Well, I definitely have made my mind up. I'm going fishing with Dan Richardson. That's it.
Oh yeah.
I
don't think he invited you.
I know he
He
didn't.
up, or what?
Well, I just texted him actually a few minutes ago until your camera broke. So you're right. He didn't respond to me. I said, "I'm coming fishing with you," and he did not respond.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. I'm hoping that he's gonna let me.
Well, you're gonna have to pay for gas at least in the boat.
That's fine. I will pay for gas. I will pay for whatever. I want Dan as my guide because that looked like a heck of a trip. I mean, they were in the fish. They were having fun. I mean, I don't know what else more you asked for.
No, it definitely looked like an exciting adventure out there. I mean, a heck of a boat those guys put together. So, looking forward to seeing some more footage from them, as the summer continues to progress here. And speaking of the summer, it's a great time to be doing some food plot maintenance and really starting to think about fall. And that's what we've got up next, which is Tim Conley down in Indiana actually doing some clover plot maintenance and kind of showing us some tips and tricks for getting a clover plot ready to hopefully be able to hunt over it. So let's stop talking, I guess, and watch his segment now.
Welcome to a Monday morning here in central Indiana. It is hot. Summer has set in full time, and out here on Monday, you may ask why. That's because I retired April 1st. I'm enjoying my extra free time. Done a lot of turkey hunting this spring and worked on a lot of food plots. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to rescue a clover plot down here. And this is natural clover. This isn't something I planted. This is actually a parking area here from when we train our bird dogs out here in this field. We come down here and park, so it's had a lot of traffic. I bush hogged this down about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. I couldn't help but notice when I was down here spraying food plots that, man, there's a lot of white clover in here. Deer love white clover. It's a beautiful spot just to the west of me, just probably 50, 60 yards. I got the creek running through, and about 50, 60 yards to the east, I've got, good food plots out there. Soybeans, forage soybeans. So it's a good little staging area, make a great kill plot. And I thought I'm gonna go to town, get just a little bit of chemical, control the grass out of this. And I'm gonna show you just a little bit later. I'm gonna do just a little bit of broadleaf control also. So, no further ado, I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna use my rangefinder to figure out the square yardage of this plot, convert that into acreage. Well, I got 29 yards by 21 yards, and I've got 609 square yards equals 0.125. So I got a little over 1/10 of an acre down here in this spot. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and mix up an acre's worth so I can mix it in a larger volume, and then I'll save that after I get done with it in a container as pre-mixed. Now for a 1 acre mix, you're gonna want 10 gallons of water, and in that you're gonna wanna mix 8 ounces of clethodim, and then you're gonna wanna add 1 quart of crop oil concentrate. Now don't be confused, don't use surfactant. Make sure you got a crop oil concentrate that's got a surfactant already in it. And then you're going to want to add anywhere from 2.5 to 4 pounds of ammonium sulfate per that 10 gallon. So when you're mixing chemicals and applying chemicals, you want to make sure you got on some gloves and some eye protection. Always read the manufacturer's label and follow it closely. Now, what I found is a 18-ounce solo cup holds just about 1 pound of ammonium sulfate. So I've already got 10 gallons of water in my sprayer. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour three of these in there. Next, I'm going to pour 8 ounces of the clethodim in there. And then you're going to want a quart of the crop oil. Now to mix that up real good, I'm simply going to put my spray gun down in there and just let it run a while. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the spraying for the grasses in this little clover patch. Next up, this little broadleaf that we got in here. I done a little research. It was pretty easy identifiable on a Google search on images. This is called broadleaf plantain. Going to remove a lot of it. I'm sure I'll not get it all. You can control it when I'm mowing. I'll mow this later on. And what I'll also do after this grass dries out of here, I will take some Heartland Wildlife top seed clover, which is exactly what it's made for, is seeding over top an existing clover. By next spring, I would have a tremendous clover plot down here. So I'm going to get busy and see what happens here. It's been about 20 days since I sprayed this little clover patch that I'm trying to rescue with the clethodim. It's done a pretty good job of killing out the grass. This broadleaf plantain we talked about, I couldn't get it all dug up. It's going to need to be mowed. So what my objectives are today is thinking about this broadleaf plantain. It only grew in compacted soil. Like I said, this was our parking area that where we train bird dogs. So the soil's pretty compacted. I can't think of a better way to loosen that soil up than to put a few turnips. I got just a few turnips I've had left over from years past, and a little spreader. What I'm going to do, believe it or not, here at the 1st of July, we have got 6 days of rain forecasted coming up starting tomorrow. So I am going to broadcast a few turnips out in here. I've also got some clover seed that I'm going to top seed over this. Not the right time of year for clover seed. I got plenty of it. It's a small patch. It's not going to hurt to try it with all the rain coming in. Might get lucky and it might take. If not, I'll just top seed it again a little later in the year. But top seed both the turnips and the clover seed, and then I'm going to come down here and mow this with my lawnmower real short. Put that cut grass on top of it. Get 3 or 4, maybe 5 days of rain, scattered showers each day. That laying on top of it's going to help trap that moisture in. Be perfect time to get that stuff germinated. Turnips, we're in July, so it's not bad time to get turnips started. Turnips not my main crop. It's just loosen up the soil. So no sense in standing around here talking about it anymore. I'm going to get to work. Today's July the 2nd, and down here working on this spot. Just kind of ironic. 5 years ago today, in this very spot, I lost one of my best buddies, Steve Hammond, to a widowmaker heart attack right here in this spot. So kind of ironic. I'm down here working on this spot today. Always been a special spot. You know, getting this clover a little more active, and maybe even putting a tree stand up here in the area. You know, will make the memories of this spot a whole lot more better. So my son and I, shortly after he passed away, went and found one of the biggest rocks I could find on the farm. Come down here and set this just kind of as a silent monument. One of the greatest hunters I've ever known. Avid bow hunter. And wish he was still around, but he's enjoying a better life right now. Well, that's going to wrap that up. After a minor setback with the flat tire, got this mowed down. That ought to leave that mulch on top of that seed that I sowed out here. The weatherman hold up to his promises this week. Ought to get a pretty good little head start on this fall clover plot with a few turnips in it. Bow hunter die.
Well, that was a pretty cool segment from Tim Conley. You know, Todd, I think the thing I liked the most about it was the educational aspect of it. Was really teaching people like, hey, if you've got a clover plot that needs a little bit of help, there's more to it maybe than just mowing it. You know, you want to control the grasses that are in there, try to control some of the broadleaf stuff, you know, and really the tips that he gave us for building a better clover plot than just, hey, go throw some clover seed on it, because that's probably what I would have done before I actually watched that segment.
Well, I know we had a few buzzwords in there that even got Justin racing to Google when they dropped the surfactant and crop oil. I mean, of course, those are all different things. The more you get into food plots, you start getting a little bit more technical with the spraying. Are all things that you begin to learn. I mean, I'll be frank with you, when I started doing my food plots, I didn't know what that stuff meant either. But also with the crop oil, you know, that's designed to help the spray adhere to the, you know, grass or whatever you're spraying better. I do like how quickly Tim gave up on digging out all the broadleaves. You know, he was so gung-ho, he's got his shovel, and
then he was like, yeah, you know what, this is a little bit too much work. I'm just gonna mow it, and hopefully the clover will take care of itself. Another cool tip was, you know, broadcasting some turnips in there to help loosen up that soil, because as we know, you know, those turnips are gonna grow, it's gonna create a big bulb, and it's actually gonna help break up some of that compacted dirt that he's got in there. So, you know, great tips from Tim. You know, hopefully he's going to be able to capitalize, you know, if not this year, maybe next year on that type of food plot. So, you know, really neat segment. Guys, that's all the action we've got for this episode. Of course, like always, before we go, we want to take just a couple seconds here to thank some of the folks who sent in their trophy photos.
Before we do that, though, Justin, what's going on with this new ring here? You got a new wedding ring? Your wife buy you a new ring?
No, my wife didn't buy it for me.
Is that rubber?
Does my wife buy me anything? Yeah, no, this is, man, I'm probably going to butcher this when I say the name. I think it's Kalo or Kilo. It's spelled Qalo, but they're silicone rings. So they're very similar to like the wristbands that we've got, but they're really designed for hunters and outdoorsmen, people that are outside. You know, the nice thing about it is if you get this thing caught, you know, on a tree step or on a climbing stick, you know, it's not going to rip your whole finger off. I'm sure some of you guys out there have seen some of those pretty nasty photos that have been floating around out there. They're super lightweight and they don't make noise. So I can bang them into a tree stand or a climbing stick or a release or something, and you're not gonna have to worry about.
I didn't get one of those. So whoever sent those to Justin, he kept them all. I did not get one.
I did not keep them all. I gave one to Brandon.
Right.
I gave one to Mike Pierce. So everyone got them except you, because you.
And there's one left, blaze orange.
Yeah, well, that's good for you. You'll be wearing it next week. So
I'm not doing.
All right, let's get into the trophy photos, guys.
Josh Johnson,
Matthew Dockery,
Kevin Rossiter,
Robert Bedstead,
and Craig Molman. Hey guys, those are some great trophies. If you'd like to see yourself right here on an episode of Bowhunt or Die, you got to send them in. Justin, with that being said,
yes sir,
talk to me. 2 o'clock today, we got a secret little thing we're working on together. We can't really talk about it just yet, but we do have maybe a new spot to hunt. Yeah, which would be kind of nice. We'll see if that comes together. What else we got going on?
Summertime, man. Velvet bucks. You know, the bucks have definitely, at least around here, been out in the beans and the alfalfa a lot lately. You know, Tommy and I went out and did a little bit of velvet scouting last weekend. I actually went to my other spot here locally and did some velvet scouting the next day. Saw a bunch of bucks out in the field. So it's definitely that time of year. If you guys want to get out there and, you know, start glassing those fields, see what's around. You know, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy going out and looking at velvet bucks, but you know, I've been guilty of putting maybe a little bit too much stock in the fact that, oh, there's a giant buck out in this field every single night, when in reality he moved a mile to be on those beans maybe during the summer, and then as soon as he sheds his velvet and the beans start to turn yellow, he leaves. So don't put too much stock in it, but it is something fun to do during the summertime. What do you got here?
I'm looking at my remote camera, seeing what kind of photos came in this morning. Actually, I'm a little nervous because there has been several raccoons that have been hitting this one remote camera. Of course, this isn't a raccoon, but I haven't got any pictures for 2 or 3 days. I have a bad feeling that this camera.
The raccoons knocked your camera
into
the
lake. I know, and I usually get such cool shots at this spot, so I'm a little disappointed about that.
Yeah, summer is definitely trail camera season. Velvet bucks, you know, getting ready for the fall. Food plots, you know, tree stands,
bowfishing,
and
take the wife out, keep the wife happy, take her out.
I took mine out looking for deer the other night. I'm not sure she was super thrilled, but
I
got her out of the house anyways.
That's the wrong thing to do. What you want to do is take them out to dinner a little bit more. You do some extra special things for them because it's just like it's getting closer and closer to that time.
Yeah, I'd rather go look for velvet bucks. So, guys, that's all the action we've got for this episode of Bowhunt or Die. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Hopefully, we're gonna have some really cool hit list footage coming
ready.
up pretty soon. We got a lot of big velvet bucks on trail camera rolling in, so check back soon.
For more exciting action, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and receive live updates from our team members as well as the latest happenings in the bow hunting and archery world. Be sure to share your photos, stories, and experiences as well. And don't forget to pick up your official bowhunting.com and bowhunter.die gear by visiting bowhunting.com/gear. We have a full selection of hats, shirts, decals, wristbands, and much more.
You know what? He's finally smiling and laughing back there now. He's loosening up a little bit. Come on, Nick, loosen up, man. You're making me nervous over here.
Maybe you're making him nervous, Graf. Think of that?
Think about it.
Jeez.
Think about it. Justin's alive.
I'm alive.
And Craig? Moleman?
Moleman. I'd say Moleman.
Moleman.